students. Today we started chapter 2, physical features of India, okay, from geography portion. So in this chapter we learn about different type of physical features of India, okay, that means some plate boundaries, tributaries, and some different type of geographical or physiographical division of the India, okay, about some mountains, plains, plateau, etc. Okay, so we have already learned in earlier chapter that India is a vast country, okay, that means it has varied landforms, okay, plains, plateau, mountainous, river, etc. So our India is practically all major physical features of the earth, that is mountain, plains, desert, plateau, island, okay. So we must be wondering how these physical features have been formed, okay. So we will learn more about the major physical features of India and how they can be formed, okay. So let's start. We find different type of rocks. Some are the very hard, some like marbles, and which have been used for making the like Taj Mahal and some other buildings, okay, and some are very soft like sharp stone, okay. So the color of the soil varied from the one place to the another because of the soil is formed out of different type of rocks, okay. Somewhere is soil is black and somewhere it is red, that's why. So India is a large landmass formed during different geological periods, okay, so which has influenced her relief. So beside the geological formation, a number of processes such as weathering, erosion and deposition have created and modified the relief of its present form. So earth scientists have attempted to explain the formation of physical features with the help of some theories, okay. So the based on certain evidence, these theories are made or explained on the base of certain evidence. So one of the main theory is theory of plate tectonics, okay. So according to this theory, the crust upper part of the earth has been formed out of the 7 major and some minor plates, okay. These plates like convergent boundaries and divergent boundaries, transform boundaries, etc., okay. So these type of plate form transform boundaries. So the movement of these plate have changed the position and size of the continents over million of years, okay. So that's why they can change the position, that's why they are called transform boundaries, okay. So the oldest landmass, that means the peninsular plateau, it was the oldest landmass of India, was a part of the Gondwana land, okay. So the Gondwana land include in India, Australia, South Africa, South America and Antarctica as one single landmass, okay. All these countries are under the Gondwana land, okay. So the northward drift resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger erosion plates, okay. So due to this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in geosynthetical knowledge as a piths, okay, were folded in form of the mountain system of Western Asia and Himalaya, okay. So in due course of the time, this depression and gradually got filled with decomposition of sediments by the rivers flowing from the mountains in the north and the peninsular plateau in the south, okay. So because of the flow of this type of rivers, the decomposition of sediments is occurred, okay. So in the land of India is display great physical variation, okay. So geologically, the peninsular plateau constitute one of the ancient landmass on the earth's surface, okay. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land block in peninsular plateau, okay. So the Himalayas and the northern plain are the most recent landmark. So from the viewpoint of geological, Himalaya mountain form a unstable zone. Okay, so the whole mountain system of Himalaya represent a very youthful topography with the high peak. Okay, there are different various type of peaks under the Himalaya. So there some high peak, deep valleys and fast flowing river. All these are occurring as a Himalayas. Okay, so according to this, there are major physiographic divisions. Okay, so the physical features of India can be grouped under the different type of physiographic divisions, like the Himalayan mountain, the northern plain, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plain and the island. Okay, these are the some major physiographic divisions. Okay, so let's study about them briefly. So first one is the Himalaya mountain. Okay, we already know that northern part of India is covered with Himalaya mountain. Okay, so this mountain range run in the west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. Okay, Indus river in west and Brahmaputra in east. Okay, so they form an arc, like shape like arc. Okay, so which cover a distance of about 2,400 kilometer, this arc from Indus to Brahmaputra. Okay, so their width varies from 400 kilometer in Kashmir to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so the attitudinal variation of the greater in the eastern half than those of the western half. Okay, so the Himalaya consists of 3 parallel range in the longitudinal extent. Okay, so these range are the northernmost range is known as the Great or Inner Himalayas or Himadri. Okay, so it is the most continuous range consisting of the loftiest peak with the average height of 6,000 meter. Okay, this was the most of the highest or a great peak. Okay, which was Himadri. And the fold of the Great Himalaya are symmetrically in nature. So the core of this part of Himalaya is composed of granite. Okay, so granite is made from the core of the Himalaya. So the range lying to the south of the Himadri form the most rugged mountain system and known as the Himachal and the Lesser Himalaya. Okay, so after the Himadri, the next range of Himalaya is Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. Okay, so the altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters and the average width is 50 kilometer. Okay, this was the length and width of Himachal and Lesser Himalaya. Okay, after Himadri. So while the Pir Panjal range from the longest and the most important range is Dhaula Dhar, and the Mahabharat range is also a prominent one. Okay, so these are the range of which Himachal. Okay, Himachal range. So this region is well known as for the hill station. Okay, like Himachal Pradesh and other area around it. Okay, after it, the outermost range after Himadri and Himachal, the outermost range of Himalaya is called Shivalik. Okay, so they extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometer and have a altitude varying between 900 and 1100 meters. Okay, so these valleys are covered with the thick gravel and alluvium. Okay, so the latitudinal valleys lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks is known as Dun. Okay, Duns and Dehradun. Okay, Kotli Dun and Patli Dun. Okay, these are the some range or valleys between the Himalaya and the Shivalik. Okay, so some of the well known as Duns. Okay, So the part of the Himalayas, after it, the part of the Himalayas lying between Indus and the Satluj river have been traditionally known as the Punjab Himalaya. Okay, so but it is also known as regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya from west to east respectively. Okay, so the part of the Himalaya lying between Satluj and Kali river is known as the Kumanu Himalayas, and the Kali and Tisa river is democratic the Nepal Himalaya, and the part of the lying between Tisa and Dhingang river is known as the Assam Himalayas. Okay, so according to the rivers flow from Himalaya, the region can be divided in different area, okay, different range. So after it, the Brahmaputra mark the easternmost boundary of the Himalaya beyond the Dihang Gorge, and the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and the spread among the eastern boundaries of the India. Okay, so the Brahmaputra region, this is known as the Purvanchal. Okay, these all are the range of Himalaya. Okay, according to the height or the width of the Himalaya, the different type of ranges distributed. Okay, so the Purvanchal comprise the Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, the Manipur Hills, and the Mizo Hills. Okay, these hills comes under the Purvanchal range. Okay, so this was the composition of Himalaya. That means Himalaya can be composed in different type. Himalaya mountain is composed in different type of ranges. First one is uppermost ranges, Himadri. Okay, after it, second one is Himachal, that is lesser Himalaya. After it, the outermost is Shivalik. Okay, after Shivalik, the next range is Punjab Himalaya. Okay, then after it, from the Brahmaputra mark, it is Purvanchal. Okay, so this all are the composition of Himalayas. The next one is the Northern Plain. Okay, this was the next division of physiography of India. So the Northern Plain has been formed from the by the interplay of the three major river system. Okay, so these rivers are the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra with their tributaries. Tributaries means when many type of small rivers can float on any one big river. Okay, so this was called tributaries. Okay, so the deposition of the alluvium is the vast basin lying in the foothills, okay, of the Himalaya over million of years formed their fertile plains. Okay, so with a rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and favorable climate, it is agriculturally a productive part of the India. Okay, Northern Plain area is very rich for soil and adequate water, so that's why this was very favorable for agriculture or production. Okay, so the river of their lower course split into numerous channels due to the decomposition of the silt. Okay, so these channels are known as the distributors. Okay, so the Northern Plain is broadly divided into three sections. Which sections? The western part of the Northern Plain is referred as a Punjab Plain, okay, formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. That means the Indus and its tributaries like Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, Satluj. Okay, so these rivers are tributaries of Indus. That means Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj. These four rivers can be float into the Indus river. Okay, so according to the variation in relief features, the Northern Plain can be divided into four regions. Okay, so these the largest part of Northern Plain is formed as the older alluvium. Okay, and it lies above the flute plain of the river present in the terrace-like features. Okay, so this part is known as the Bhangar, and the newer younger deposit of the flute plain is called a khadar. Okay, Bhangar and khadar. Okay, these are the two types of food plains of northern plains. So they are renewed almost every year and so are fertile, thus ideal for incentive agricultures. Okay, so this was the composition of northern plain. Okay, northern plain have very good and adequate enricher of with soil and adequate water because of the many rivers, okay, that float from the Himalaya can be flow in northern plain. Okay, hello students.